Hey everybody, welcome to Does It Work, where I take plugins, I blind test them, and I see if they actually work the way that they're described. And that's it. I don't do anything ahead of time. I haven't checked these out ahead of time. If I do, I will let you know. If there are things that I use that I'm doing like a deep dive on, of course, you'll know what I'm doing there. But this is a blind test of software. Now, couple cool things. First of all, we hit 8,000 people on this channel. Holy cow. What? Okay. So that's really cool. If you like this, man, like, subscribe. You guys know what to do. The second thing is Matt Sassano, man. Fuel, the song that I mixed, is doing really well. 6 weeks at #1. And we just released his new song called Happy Family. And I mixed that as well. Just great production by Josiah Prince, great songwriting by Matt. And man, shout out to like Mary Nickel, who's like a marketing genius, and all the people who made it possible. We're hoping that that one charts, and I'll let you guys know as we move on with this new song. So, what are we going to do today? Today we are going to do Black Salt Audio Silencer. And I'm going to take a drum track that I got from an artist, and we're going to actually show you, hopefully, that this is supposed to be like one of the best gates out there to be able to reduce cymbal bleed and every other thing. And we're gonna test that out today and see what it's all about. So let's get at it, man. Let's get at this thing. So here we are. We are now in front of my Pro Tools session. I have silencers sitting right here. I'll probably move it out to over here so y'all can see this. First of all, love this. This is you can, for people with the ability not to see as well as they used to, myself, we have this. So that's really cool out of the gate. I'm going to go up here. Wow. Okay, that was cool. Owner's manual. So if we get stuck, you could just go up there. This is the licensing. I buy the stuff I test. It looks like kick, snare bottom, top bottom, toms. I didn't do the toms on this because I don't have time to do it all. A thing called Ghost, de-bleed, S-chain, side chain, and threshold output. So it looks like it's a pretty standard kind of gate thing going on. Let me click presets. We got kick, more bleed, standard, tight. So really designed for drums, though I'm sure you could use it on other things. Now, the drums we are going to use it on today is just sitting up here with 2 kicks, an in and out, and a top and a bottom snare. So let me play for you what this sounds like right out of the gate. Now, I might be clipping my desktop audio over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to lower the volume a little bit on these over on this side. And I'll solo these two as we go. There we go. That's probably better. I don't know if this is like working or something. There we go. Let me bypass these. I'm going to bypass these really quickly because it sounds like it might actually be kicking into something already. All right, here we go. So what you can hear is a little bit of bleed, but not a ton. But I did notice on one of these tracks, the kick in. It's not on that one. Let me solo this one. So both of those have a little bit of bleed in them, not a very light kind of ring in there, not something that would be too disturbing for anybody within this. So here's the top snare solo. So if you heard that, you could hear the crash bleeding into that. Not disastrous, but maybe not something you want. So this is the bottom snare. So not a whole lot going on the bottom snare. So it's mostly coming from top and definitely bleed coming into these kick drum mics. So nothing like so disastrous that it can't be taken care of or handled. But I want to see what silencer does to this. So I'm going to bring this instance up over here and see what we can do. So I'm going to go to the kick drum preset. I'm going to do an bypass. Let's hear what this sounds like. Solo it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is drop this down. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So immediately when I started bringing up this threshold, you could hear it starting to clean this up. D-bleed at like 100. Length. I'm going to bring this volume up just a little more here. All right, let's see how tight. Let's go tight and see what they do for this. So this is the tight preset. Sounds kind of like it was before, huh? Okay, I think so. This ghost is probably for ghost notes for like snare, is what that sounds like. So I hope you guys hear what's going on here. As I lower this down, it lets more of kind of the kick boom through the actual silencer. As I bring it up to the top, it's like really cutting it off like a crazy gate. I mean, so I guess if you're into that sound, that's cool. So what's awesome is you can get like a really, really nice, tight sounding kick drum without the extra boom or whatever. So if you just want that really tight sound, you can actually do that up here. Now, if you have bleed, which we'll kind of check out in a second, we'll see what that does. Let's go down to the second kick, which is our kick in. And this is what it sounds like. It's bypassed right now. And you can hear in the back on the kick in, you can hear the snare, actually the top of the snare. Listen to that again. So you guys can hear that. So what we're going to do, that was actually sent. So that was on bypass. Let's go to kick again. Let's bring up and let's not bypass that. And let's go kick tight, yeah, which we already kind of are on. Nope, that's on our first one. Sorry, guys. This is the one I want to be on. Let's unbypass this, and let's do the tight and see if it gets rid of that snare drum. Sure did. Check it out. What I love, by the way, is down here you can actually see down on the bottom what the snare drum is doing when it hits. It actually shows it down here. And then as you raise up this threshold right here, you're seeing it go away. So watch. Totally gone. Now let's hear this with all the drum elements now. Yeah. So now we've tightened up the kick drum and got rid of that snare bleed. Let's hear what happens when we actually throw on like more bleed. Let's see what that one does. And let's mute these channels down here. Here we go. It doesn't do a lot. I think it'll probably do as I come down. So I think it's actually just allowing more of the body of the kick drum through. So that's pretty cool. Like you could get the tightest sounding kick drum ever with this plugin. You know, it does sound like it's a little finicky as you're moving this around, but I know there's a good balance. And let's hear the deep bleed on this. Oh, yeah. Guys, listen to this. This is with it all the way at 100. Let me dial it back. So it's allowing more of the kick sound in there. Let's get this really short, this over here, the timing. So this is cool too. So what's really awesome, okay, now as I adjusted this over here, the reduction, I can hear the snare. Bring it back. And the snare's gone. So what a cool thing, man, to be able to tighten up your kick. So for me, this is just kind of the way I work. I like my direct signals, my kick drum in, my kick drum out. In my snare, I like those to have not a lot of bleed in them. Just enough maybe to get some of the sounds on the snare, maybe a little bit to get a little bit of, you know, the tail end of the hit. On the kicks, I'd normally like to stick to really pretty tight kick drum sound. And then I like to let the room mics do the you know, like the room mics placed in and the overheads to kind of do the lifting when it comes to allowing more of the kit to decay out properly. So I like my kick and my snare tight, and then I like the overheads and the room mics to carry the room and the sound to be able to make it sound full, you know, and get the actual sound of the entire kit. All right. Let's go to snare drum now, snare top. Down here. Definitely has ghost notes, so we're going to hit ghost. I'm going to bring this up as well in the mix over here. So So you can hear definitely the cymbals going around and splashing into that. Let's go ring preserver. No, let's just go tight snare bottom cleaner. Let's do cleaner. See what that does. Wow. That's really nice. Keeps those ghost notes intact without let's hit ghost here. Wow, that's really nice. Let's hear it with the entire kit. So you guys can hear this. The kit is literally tightening back up as we go. Now let's try this bottom snare drum right here. And let's mute out these three up here. And let's hear what that sounds like. Pretty nice. And this is where you can get that really nice snare tone. Nice ghost notes and things like that. So let's go bottom snare. And here we can hear top, 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 snare bottom. They literally only have like one preset. Let's see what they did on this one. I really like, okay, so first of all, let's point this out. I like that ghost feature because it's literally allowing the plugin to hear the ghost notes. And this drummer actually plays a lot of ghost notes. So it's not just so straightforward. You can hear them, you know, obviously you guys have been listening to this. Super crazy tight snare. But the other thing you can hear in there is you can hear the kick drum. See, boom, boom, da, ba-do-do, boom, da. So let's come back here. It's picking up that kick pretty hard. Probably not a lot you're going to be able to do unless I hit this off. So, you know what I would do on this is I would actually not let the ghost notes on the bottom snare. I would do something like that. So you're still getting the snare and then you're still getting the, you know, the snare hits. Now let's hear this together. Now, once you get it that tight, then you can bring in your overheads and everything else. And so you've just cleaned up your really two essential parts of your kit, right? Your kick and your snare in a way that's tightened them up so you're not getting a lot of bleed. And then you can do just a million things and EQ that out the way you want to. And also remember this, and I'm going to do this, and you guys already know this is the wrong way, or maybe not. I mean, it's up to you to add reverb, but let me put some reverb on there, and I'm going to do the plate reverb by I'll put a little plate by Sound Toys, so you can hear once you get the reverb on there a little bit of what it will do to the snare drum. So drums, let's just go I don't know, something like that. And let's bring back the mix, obviously. Now let me put it over on the other snare. So you're letting now your reverb splash out where you've cut that off. And that's when you get that really nice drum tone, polished sound within your mixes. Might. Might actually dial it like I just did. Let's hear it. I'm watching my meters over here for the recording. I'm lowering this down a little bit so I don't blast in. There we go. Let's hear that again. So you can see that where the drums now are like tight, the reverb splashes them. So it's the hit with the reverb splashing out. By the way, guys, this is not something, I'm just doing this really quick to show you once you tighten up your drums, like how you can make them sound after you tighten them up. So what are we doing here? Let's go over this one more time. We're taking the Black Salt Audio silencer, which is a gate, and we're actually throwing it on kicks and snares that have bleed that were done in a live drum room. And then we're taking just a little bit of this plate to show you. Without the plate, it would sound like this. And then with the plate, it would sound like this. And then with everything, it would sound like this. So what we did is we tightened up the entire drums. Let me come back over to my, to look at you guys. So what we did is we took the silencer, really made like very punchy kick and snare tones and let some of the actual tone bleed out. We let the ghost notes come in up on the top of the snare. We cleaned up the bottom so we weren't getting the kick drum because that was picking up the kick as well. And so we stopped the kick from bleeding and then we put a plate on that and you guys could hear how it just tightened up the drum sounds. Now, here's the second part I would do on this. With these drums, which I did do. So I'm going to use the natural drum sounds, but I'm going to mix them within triggered sounds from Slate Triggers. So I'm going to take those, duplicate those tracks, and then trigger off Slate Triggers and blend in the real drums from the real room into the drums from the trigger software. And that's going to give me this huge drum tone. Once I get all that together and really nice and settled, then I'm going to spill all of that out as well into a parallel compressor and then adjust to taste and make them even sound more punchy out in the mix. Once that you get that all done, and those room mics in and the overheads in and everything really jiving together, that's going to give you just an amazing drum tone for your mixes. So once again, this is almost a little tutorial for y'all on how I would approach a drum mix and how I actually did approach a drum mix on this. Now, here's the other thing too. The drummer on this mix was one of the drummers for Ozzy's band. So saying that, he's a great drummer. So there are times where and his drums sounded phenomenal. And he used some really great equipment to record these, like some high end microphones to record this stuff. As a matter of fact, if you look on the actual session, go back and watch it, you can see where he actually put what he used. D12 on the kick. He's got some like the 57, that's pretty standard, but he's got like Coles and Sheps and everything going on this kit. When I got the drum tone, it sounded really good out, pretty good. I mean, not even pretty good. It was really good. It was a good sound, and you knew it was recorded professionally, but still within a room, you're going to get that bleed. So what I would do is I always reduce the bleed on the direct mics and then allow, once again, the room and the overheads to carry the room sound. And I blend all that together with triggered off stuff. So we didn't even get into the toms. The toms here had enormous amounts of bleed in it. So I would use the same thing. I would use the silencer or gate in there. I may actually just start using the silencer. I mean, that silencer plugin is really did an amazing job of tightening up that entire kit sound. So I would probably start using this more on my own projects as well. So I use, like right now, I use the standard gate from Pro Tools, the expander gate that comes with it, the Dyne. Sorry, my nose just got all clogged. On this, in the future, and here's the other part too. It didn't seem like, let me finish that other thought. In the future, I'd probably use this because it didn't seem like it was using a lot of resources to drive it. So I had 4 instances on this session, and my computer didn't lock or didn't stop. It didn't give me that weird audio engine thing. It didn't do any of that. So what a good plugin by Black Salt Audio. Silencer. I saw it on my feed. That's how I found out about this, on my Facebook feed. I find out a lot about my Facebook feed. I found out about it, and I'm like, no way. There's no way this could be like as good as they all are saying it is. It really is. It actually did a really good job as a gate. It does one thing well. There's not a lot of other things on this, except it does the one thing well, and that is to stop the bleed on your drum tracks. So if you're dealing with a really, really wild recording with a lot of bleed, this could be a really go-to plugin for all you guys. And if you're not, then you're good. So this one had what I would consider minimal bleed, but I still was able to really tighten up the sound with it. And then when I mixed it, actually this song, I used the Dyne gate, and I actually did very similar to what you guys saw, except I put my reverbs over on a bus channel on the snares, and didn't put it on the individual channel. Here I did it just to show you what it would sound like on the individual channels. So man, what a cool plugin. Love Black Salt Audio. That was really amazing. And glad you guys are making plugins. Glad this one came out as good as it did. I was a little skeptical, but now I'm a believer. It's really, like I said, does one thing well, and that is gating. Now, there are a bazillion gate plugins out there. Why would you want to buy this? Well, I would buy this if I'm new to audio and if I don't know how to use the controls on like the Dyne expander gate from Pro Tools, because there's a lot of buttons to twist. This one is pretty straightforward. You could start with the presets, and then as I was going up and down with the threshold, you guys heard how I was changing it. You could literally just do that all day long and not have to understand every single thing, like something like what the Dyne 3 is doing. That's when I would use it. The other way I would use it is if I don't have a lot of gate plugins, I would bring this in as another one as well. Now, I didn't get into the sidechain feature, but I could actually hear this linked up to like a kick drum and doing that choppy guitar kind of thing with a double kick, kind of thing, kind of like what Disturbed does with their stuff. I would also use this on something that would be like even allowing, and this is getting into a little bit more technical stuff, where you would allow a sine wave to come through to be able to enhance your kick or your snare. I would use it on something like that. but I would have to experiment with that sidechain feature, which would be kind of cool actually. So yeah, that's it. I think, this one is a solid, it's just really a solid gate. There's nothing super crazy or bizarre or weird. It's a straight up gate that is really easy to use and yet is still powerful, has powerful features that can allow you to dial in a really tight drum tone. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And once again, like, subscribe, man. Bring your friends over. And pretty soon, I think when I hit 10,000 now, I hit 8,000 really fast on the channel. When I hit 10,000, I may have another big giveaway. And I might be giving away some pretty expensive software. So just stay tuned. Thank you guys, man. I appreciate you guys tuning in, listening, supporting. You guys just don't know how much that means to me. So see you guys all in the flippity flip. Until the next time, man. Keep rocking, keep recording, keep pursuing your dream.